yarn wet, because I know me, I'll spill it. Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa, and I am the crafter, creator, hobbyist, whatever you want to call me, yarn hoarder, behind Missouri Mix. And you can find me on Instagram as Missouri_makes, and you can find me on Ravelry as Missouri Mix. You will find a group on Ravelry for all of the show notes for my episodes and anything else that I decide to put in there. We've got a few people in there now. You're more than welcome to join. Today is Thursday, June 24th. I'm not sure. Either the 23rd or the 24th. And it is warm. I mean, it's not as hot as it has been because I think it was last week the temperature said it was in the 90s, but it felt like 115 or 119. The humidity is at 100%. We had a rain Monday and it cooled things down, but it is back to being warm. So I'm going to try to do this episode in one take so that I can get back in the air conditioner. But today is Thursday. I had today off because Robert decided to take a day off today, so I have the day off today. And I thought that I would go ahead and record early so that I can edit and do what I need to and hopefully have the video sometime tomorrow, which would be your today. But yeah, I don't have a lot to show. I feel like I've been crocheting a lot, but I don't really have anything to show for it. I haven't been following the bingo this month. I just really haven't felt it, so I probably won't get anything done in the bingo. But I feel like I've been doing a lot. I just don't have a lot to show for it, you know? It's just been one of those things. They're more bigger projects, I guess, is what it is. So it takes a little bit longer. But I have been working on stuff. A lady at my husband's work, she asked for a ponytail hat. And she asked for it back probably in January. And I never got around to making it. And she reminded my husband, even though it's summer, I'm still waiting on my ponytail hat. And so I went ahead and made her that. I mentioned it in the last episode that I was going to use my yarn. But it was a fingering weight. And it was not enjoyable to crochet with. And I don't know how to do a ponytail hat in knit right now because I like to put the ponytail ring in there, and I don't know how to do that with knit yet. And so I wanted to crochet at least the body portion of the hat, and it just wasn't enjoyable to work with fingering weight. I was not enjoying it. So I went ahead and bought yarn from Hobby Lobby because she wanted shades of green. And so I'll show you the finished hat. This is the finished hat. It's got bobbles and it's got V stitches and lots of texture. I hope she likes texture. I don't know. But on the bottom of it, I love knit hats when they've got ribbing on them. I love the ribbing on a knit hat. And so I decided to, instead of doing a crocheted ribbing, I decided to pick up stitches and do a knit ribbing. And I went ahead and took pictures of it, and hopefully I'll figure out how to insert pictures into this video. If not, you'll find them on Instagram because I usually just post the stuff over there. So, but she wanted something that was multiple shades of green. I think I covered it. It's got gray in it too, but did that, and it fits perfectly. I was afraid that, because to me it looks short this way. But I tried it on real quick to see, because sometimes I get my hats a little short, like the ears will show and stuff. No, this one covers everything and it's good. And the yarn I used for that is Yarn Bee Urban Chic. What's the colorway? Eucalyptus. There's 275 yards per skein. It is a number 3. Weight 78 acrylic, 22 cotton. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I used a H hook, which is a 5mm. But this is what I have left of it. And I don't know if I could get another hat out of it. I know I can get something out of it, because that's too much, in my opinion, to waste. So I'll put this on my shelf until I figure out something to use it for. Maybe I'll put it in some kind of scrap project. And then I took, no, it's already been used, because I was really excited about this. Kristen Omdahl has her own yarn, and she's actually come out with a few different yarns this past month or so, and she's got a lot of patterns, and they all run $1.99 each, stuff like that. But she has YouTube tutorials too to go along with her patterns. And so she had a YouTube tutorial, because she's got a new yarn out right now that is, it's kind of like Red Heart Scrubby. It's the, I don't know if it's the same material, but it's the same concept. And so she's got that out, and she did a whole collection of crocheted bath things, and one of them was a loofah. Now, I don't have her yarn. I've got Scrubby, but I didn't want Scrubby for a loofah. And so I used Peaches and Cream, and then this is, the gray is Dishy. Most of, now this takes a lot of yarn. Most of it is this Peaches and Cream. I didn't show it in my video, because I've got a video coming out soon of a yarn haul that I did. And I didn't show the yarn in it because I already had it pulled out and was working with it. But I got this in a yard sale top event. And it's just Peaches and Cream. I don't know if they still carry it or not. And then the gray is Dishy from Knit Picks that I've had in my stash for a while, because I ran out of this color here and needed something to fill in. And it was either gray or purple, and I didn't think purple would really go with this. So I used, probably, if you include the gray, I've probably used 2 things worth of cotton yarn for this, at least. There's a lot of stitches. It starts out with 18 or 19, and you put 4 stitches in each, and you do that 3 or 4 times, and this comes up to over 1,000 stitches in the last round. I think it's close to 1,200 stitches for the last round. And so come closer to the end, I cut corners and fudged it a little bit because I was so tired of working on it. But I do enjoy it. It is not, this is the first loofah that I've made, and it is not the same as using a loofah that you get from the store, but it's not bad. I like it. The pattern is good. She shows you how to make the handle on it, as well as the loofah itself, in the video tutorial. Plus she has, I think she has 4 or 6 different crochet patterns that goes for washcloths and loofahs and scrubbies and stuff to go along with that yarn. But I think she included all of them in one bundle. Don't take my word for it, but I think she included it all in one bundle so that you could have all of the patterns. I'll try to remember to link to it in the show notes if I can find it. But yeah, she's really, really good when it comes to stuff like this. And so, but I just used what yarn I had and made cotton ones. And then, let's see. My husband, we're supposed to go Saturday to a fireworks type deal in Ravenden Springs. And because they don't do it on 4th of July, they do it before. I don't know exactly why or what the reason is, but I'm assuming because sometimes people get a little crazy whenever it comes to stuff like that, and they don't want people out on the street and risk getting hurt. That's the only thing I can think of. But they invited us to their house. Our friend invited us to their house to see the fireworks show, and I've been to it before. It's okay. And so my husband wanted to, because he's a preacher at Hamill Community Church it's just on the other side of Ravenden Springs. I don't know. I don't do direction steps, but it's somewhere over there. And he wanted me to make crocheted crosses and stuff like that, so that he could hand out like little cards for the church and have crosses and things like that to hand out to people when we go. And so that's what I've been working on the past couple days. I should have been working on it a little bit sooner, but I forgot. Simple. I forgot. But I went ahead and started on it. The pattern that I started with, this is how big it is. I'd say the longest part is probably 6 inches. None of my ends are hidden. But I took crochet cotton thread and I made some crosses, and they're bigger than what he wanted. These were just kind of test runs to see. So I took that pattern and kind of minimized it, and I did this one. This is probably 4 inches on the longest part. Let me see the size difference. I really like this one better, and I figure this will be the size that he's looking for. It's just double crochets and single crochets and chains. It's not hard, and in fact I can take and show you how to make it in a tutorial later on if you want to learn how to make that. All I used was cotton thread with a size, it says D3 or 3.25 millimeter crochet hook. Small crochet hook. I just picked one of the smaller ones that I had and went with it. And the threads that I use, I don't remember the name brands. It don't really matter as long as it's I think it's number 10 crochet thread. Hold on, let me get my ends wrapped around. Here's the first one. And oh, there we go. This color will make this. And then you have this kind of corally color, which will make this. And then you have the solid, like aqua color, which makes this one. I like them. They're pretty. And I will probably continue to make these and have these on the side, because I figure that he'll want to keep a few of those to be able to hand out. Now, let's see. Let's go ahead and show you my whip before I get into yarny businesses. Fuzz. Happens when you have yarn everywhere. Okay, so this is my one that I am currently done with. I finished the first panel of my cardigan, and I put a stitch marker there to hold it so that I could try it on. This right here is what would be the sleeve. And let me see if I can, I don't know if I have a good representation of it, but essentially there. I'll attach there and go around and around to make the sleeve, and it'll come down like that. And the other one I will attach at the back and do the same thing. This is how far I've gotten on the second panel. I'm in the second color, which is the white, and I've got this much left. So I will be starting on the third section before too long. And I went to Hobby Lobby whenever I got this. I went and got more of this Hobby Lobby Yarn Bee, what's it called? Glowing Mariposa Prairie. I don't know if I said that right. It is a 60 acrylic 40 polyester blend, 198 yards, number 4 medium weight yarn. And I essentially had, and there's the other one right there, I had 4 skeins of it, and I was hoping with mixing the white with it and the 4 skeins that I would be able to get a okay size cardigan, but I tend to forget that I'm a big girl and I just need more yarn for my size. Nothing wrong with it. And then on top of it, crochet takes more yardage as well. So I went ahead, I used for dropping stuff. I always drop stuff. But this section here is 1 skein of the glowing yarn. And then this white here is 1 skein of, it's just Dollar Tree. Just yarn, Premier worsted. It's just white, 100% acrylic, 131 yards per skein. I used 1 there because I only had 2 white. And then I used 1 skein here. And it wasn't quite big enough, so whenever I went and got this yarn here, I took and got 3 more skeins to be on the safe side because I want to put a border all the way around the cardigan plus put sleeves on it. So I took, and this is what I have left of one of the skeins that I bought from Hobby Lobby. I didn't use a full skein to finish this. I just used enough to kind of, I was going to use a full skein on it, but I put the stitch marker in and I tried it on and it seems to be okay. And then it should be just fine once I get the border and stuff around. So my main concern was making it big enough that when you put the stitch marker in and tried it on the arm, that the armhole was big enough, because me, myself, and I don't like a armhole and the sleeve and stuff to be binding. I like it to be loose so that I can put it on easy, and that was my main concern, because I know that I can put a bigger border on it if it doesn't come close to closing. I can just put a bigger border on it and it'll be just fine. The armhole was what I was worried about. And so I did that, and that's what I have left of one of the skeins. I'm using a size, no, not that hook. I got 2 different projects in here. There it is. I'm using a 6mm crochet hook. This is just a Knit Picks crochet hook. I really like the ones that's got the rubber handle on them. I have the ones that are metal, and then I have plastic ones, stuff like that. But these tend to be the ones that I lean towards because of the rubber handle. I've had these for probably a year, and they hold up. They do just fine. It's got a boy head on it. instead of a Susan Bates. And so I do prefer boy crochet hooks. It all depends on what it is that you like, but I prefer boy. And so let's see, yarn. Okay, so I watched a podcast and they were talking about dyeing yarn and stuff, and this lady tried tie-dyeing yarn, and she made this yarn black and white. I think it was black. It may have been navy, but I think it was black. And her sister was knitting it up into socks, I believe, and it came out really pretty. And I wanted to try the technique out and see if I could tie-dye yarn. Granted, I used my acid dyes to dye the yarn, but I did a tie-dye method with the zip ties. I zip tied it in different places to create a tie-dye effect. And this is what I came up with. What I did was I dyed it in purple, and then I dyed the whole thing in purple, and it is a semi-solid. It is not one solid purple. There's different shades. And I took and let it cool down, stretched it out like this on the counter, and put zip ties in different places, and then over dyed it in black. And that's the way I dyed it. And that is what I got. I really, really like it. And I liked it enough. I did one skein to see what it would turn out to be like. And I liked it enough that I dyed 2 more. I'm going to try my hand at designing a... I don't know if I want to do a shawl or if I want to do like a cardigan. But I've decided that I'm going to try to push through my projects that I have, my whips that I have laid out. I'm going to try to push through them and get them finished so that I can kind of focus on designing, because I would really like to start designing patterns. And so that's what I've decided. I'm going to start pushing my whips that I have, because I don't want to just lay them to the side and only focus on designing. I want to get what I've started done. And so I'm going to do my best to work through what I have already started, and then I want to start doing designs. And I like sweaters and cardigans and the bigger garments, stuff like that. I like that, and I would really like to start designing and learning. I can do all of that in crochet. I know how to grade. I know how to make multiple sizes. I know how to do color work and all that in crochet, but I'm not as fluent in knitting. And I would really like to start looking into learning how to grade and do all that in knitting. It can't be much harder than crochet, but I've got some books that I need to read and start looking at on how to grade for knitting. And so hopefully here in the near future, that's what's going to be coming to the channel, because I not only want to start designing patterns, but I want to do videos to help with those patterns so that I can kind of put it all together. And then, let's see, I took and dyed a black mini skein. This is a 10 gram mini skein to go along with my rainbow yarn, because I plan on making socks with these, and I wanted black yarn to go for the heels and toes of my sock. And so I decided to dye a mini skein to go along with my rainbow yarn. And I don't know if I showed it in the last video, but I know that I've showed my rainbow yarn here on the channel. And so, but I'll show it again so you can see. I think I've done rainbow yarn before, right here, and I really, really like it. This one's got black in it, but I think my favorite is this one here. I've got a couple. This is my sock weight, and then I've got a DK weight. And so the DK weight, I've got a swatch on Instagram. You can go look and see how it swatches for knitting. And so you can see how that turns out. This one doesn't have any black in it. This is just the rainbow. And I really, really like how this turned out. I can't wait to work on socks with this. I don't know if I'm going to need another 10-gram mini to go along with my pair of socks, but if so, I can work on that. Okay, so other yarny goodness, I hit the Hobby Lobby clearance sale. I didn't get a whole lot. I only got about $20 worth, just over $20 worth, but I hit it. I went whenever, I think it was whenever I got this yarn, and they didn't have it clearanced out yet. And I bugged my husband until I got to go again and look. And I really want to go back to see if they've clearanced anything else out. Sorry for the crinkling. But I got different things. Let's see. Let's start with this one. This one reminds me of fall. It's like burnt oranges, and there's purple and pink and blue and touch of green. If you look, I don't know if I can get a strand out. We've got the orange here, and it's swirled with a contrasting color, another color. And so it's, the main is orange, and then it's swirled with purple and blue and pink, and there's green in there. This is called Fireplace Comfort, 229 yards per skein. It is a number 4 weight, 70 acrylic, 30 wool, 210 meters, 150 grams, and I got 2 of these because I could see a cowl or a scarf in this, and so I grabbed 2 so that I would have enough, because 2 of them, that would be 460 yards or close to it. So these were regular priced at $8.99, and I paid $2.24 for them because they're clearanced out. I thought that was a pretty good deal. And I got, they had their Scrubology Cotton on clearance. I got 2 different colorways. I don't know if I said the colorway of this one. Under the Umber is what this one is. And these are Scrubology Cotton. This one's called Honey, I'm Home. Trash truck. And it's 100% cotton, 125 yards or 85 grams. It's a number 4 weight. It's like the, I'm going to set this down before I spill everything. It's like the Red Heart Scrubby yarn. I've never worked with Hobby Lobby's brand, but it feels the same. This one is called Fruit Salad. You can see the blue and the like neon yellow, green, and pink in there, which I really like. And this one is oranges, yellows, and blues with a main color of white. Both of these, the main color is white, and then they've got those extra colors in there. But these were, what was the regular price on these? $4.49, and I paid $1.12 for them. Couldn't really pass that up because I use these for scrubbies in my kitchen. So let's see. I've been seeing people get on the Hobby Lobby clearance sale the Rapology hues, and I wanted to try it myself. This is called Cool Sky, and it's got blues, pinks, and purples. I guess you can tell what my favorite colors are. But it is called Cool Sky. I think I already said that. 90 cotton, 10 polyester, 200 grams or 524 yards. It is a number 2 weight. You can see There we go. You could take and double it, or you could take and use it with another cotton yarn. I probably will use it as by itself, but if you look at the strands, it's like a cotton strand with a thread wrapped around it, and that thread changes colors from pink, blue, and purple throughout the cake. This is 524 yards, and I grabbed 2 of these, and they were regular priced at, I don't like it when they put it over the tag or the price. They were regular priced at $8.99, and I paid $2.24 for these. So I think that that's a pretty good deal. And then I got sock yarn because it was clearanced out, and these are regular priced at $5 each, and you have to have 2 to make a pair of socks. And I would much rather pay $2.50 for a pair of socks versus $10 for a pair of socks. This is their sock yarn brand. It's Yarn B, called Cozy Toes, and the colorway is Turquoise Reef. It is 50 grams or 210 yards, 93 acrylic, 7% polyester, a number 2 weight. I really like those colors. I got these colors thinking that I would make a pair of socks for my husband because he likes blues and greens and stuff like that. It really depends on his mood. One day he'll like blue, the next day he'll like green, the next day he'll like red. It just depends on his mood. But I figure he'll like these once I get them knit up. Whether he wears them out or around the house is up to him. And then I got, oops, I didn't mean to bump it. Then I got these. You can tell my cats have been playing in my bag. These are Feeling Gradient. It is 77 acrylic, 23 polyamide. It is colorway Bouquet the Day. I don't know. 150 grams, 590 yards. They had 3 of these, and I got all 3 of them. This reminds me, I've never had the chance to work with mohair. Everybody talks highly of mohair, loves mohair, whatever. I haven't gotten the chance to work with it, but that's what this reminded me of. It's considered a number 3 weight, but I figured if I took and found a color or even dyed a yarn that was similar to this and paired it together, that it would be similar to working with mohair, except this is acrylic instead of mohair, so it wouldn't have all of the heat. I don't know if, I say all of the heat, I don't know if mohair is hot or if you can wear it through the summer. I assume that it's more on the warmer sides, especially if you pair it with another yarn. But I figured that will work up something really pretty. And I got 3 of these. And these were regular priced at $7, and I paid $1.74 for each of these. And there's 590 yards. I've got, what, 1,700 yards here? I could easily knit a sweater, or I don't see why I couldn't crochet one either, you know? Oh, that looks like a heart right there. That's cool. It looks like there's a drastic color change there in the center, but when I look at it, I don't see it. So, the color is not exactly on point, but it's shades of pink. I mean, you see that. So I can't wait to work with this. But like I said, I'm going to start in on pushing my whips out so that I can start designing. And I figure this will be a design coming up. Now I can take and put those on my shelf. Now that I showed you, I left them in the Hobby Lobby sack until I decided to record, because I didn't want them on the shelf and then have to pull them out. So, yeah. I think that is all for today. I hope that you have a wonderful day. Hope you have a wonderful weekend. Whatever you decide to do, go out on the lake or go fishing or swimming, or I say water related because it's like 100 degrees here. Swimming, all of that sounds very enjoyable right now. Or, you know, sit on the couch in nice cool air conditioning and crochet or knit and watch your favorite podcast. It's up to you. But I do hope you have a wonderful day and y'all stay crafty.